Are you interested in installing a fence on your property and wondering how to apply for a permit? I'm Ashley Oimby, Development Director for the City of Mebane, and today I'm joined by Rebecca Knight, our Code Enforcement Officer. In this video, we are talking all things fences, and we will review fence standards, how to apply for a permit, and what the inspection process looks like.
Fence permits are one of the most common issued permits here in the City of Mebane. Fences are also one of the most common issued code violations that I run into. We want to ensure that the citizens of Mebane and also contractors that work with us know how to submit permits and also the fence standards. Let's start with a review of the fence standards.
Fence standards for the City of Mebane are described in Article 4 of the Mebane Unified Development Ordinance, also referred to as the UDO. We have various standards that apply to fences, and one of the most common questions we receive is the type of material. In the UDO, we list permitted materials and prohibited materials. Permitted materials include masonry or stone, aluminum, iron, vinyl, and wood. And we also have some special rules related to framed welded wire and chain link. These types of fences are generally allowed in backyards and most side yards. Prohibited materials are what you might consider those that impose some type of danger. So fences with barbed wire, razor wire, concertina wire, a fence with an electrical current. It may have some type of flammable material. We would take a look at that. There are various exceptions for when certain prohibited materials may be used. As you might imagine, for public safety or security purposes, you may have a fence that has barbed wire at the top. So we have specific rules about that are outlined in the UDO as well.
Hi, my name is Mitchell Pinsky, and I'm one of the city planners here at Mebane. So the standards for fences also specify fence heights. The allowed height differs by use, with taller fences being allowed for residential, commercial, and industrial uses. So fences on residential properties are what we permit and inspect the most often. So these fences are allowed to be 8 feet tall in the side and rear yards. So for individuals living on a corner lot, fence height is limited to 4 feet at the property line and 6 feet if the fence is set back at least 5 feet. If you would like to put a fence in front of your house, the height cannot exceed 4 feet. You can always call the planning office to learn more about these and other standards.
Our fence ordinance also includes various rules to prevent fences creating obstructions. Often this is at an intersection or along a driveway. We do not want a fence in a sight distance triangle or obstructing a vision at an important intersection. We also have rules about fences being located in utility easements or drainage ways. For a utility easement, you would have to get the permission of the public or private utility, and often an encroachment agreement would be required. Drainage ways are a little different. We don't want any fence impeding drainage, so it may be allowable if the fence is a certain number of feet off the ground, or it might not be permitted depending on the type of drainage in that particular property. If you have a stream buffer, or floodplain on your property, those environmental features require a different type of review and more rules. So we would take a close look at that whenever you submit a permit and may have some additional follow-up for you.
So as Ashley mentioned, here in Mebane, we do require a zoning permit for fence applications. There are a few ways that you can do that. One's online with our online portal. You can come in office anytime, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and you can do a paper copy. What we do require is you to provide the height and the material of the fence, and we also want you to draw that on a map, and we can provide those for you.
Hello, I'm David Ortiz, and I'm a planner for the planning department, and I basically do zoning review of fence permits and other accessory structures. And so I'll walk you through what one of the review entails. This is a fence permit, and so this permit was submitted online, and basically what we do is we review the permit for UDO compliance. In this case, they're missing some components here. They fail to illustrate the linear footage for each section of fence. And the reason why we require that is to make sure that this fence remains within the boundary of the property and that it also meets side setbacks for a fence of this height on a corner lot. And so information was offered to the applicant advising them that they need to provide the additional information by way of email. And we also provide a sample of what we're looking for. And in this case, this is a scaled version of this that shows that from the rear corner of the house forward is 18 feet. That gives our inspections department a reference point that they can measure and follow the fence line all the way across so that it's complying. Once they submit that to this office, we will re-review it and in all likelihood approve it and send it to the building department for issuance.
Okay, so once your fence permit is approved by planning, we'll reach out. It's a $50 fee. You can either pay it online or here in the office or send us a check through the mail. Once that's finished, I'll go out and inspect your fence. Either yourself or your contractor can call that inspection in. All I do is basically just measure, make sure it meets what was approved by planning and zoning, and then you're good to go.
A fence can be quite the barrier, don't you think? We do not want our permitting process to be a barrier for you. Please call us if you have any questions. We are happy to help you figure out how our rules apply to your property and how to get your fence permitted quickly. You have seen a lot of friendly faces on this video. Give David a call, Mitchell a call, or Rebecca a call. We are happy to help you to stay positively charming.